Welcome to today's broadcast, friends. We are on our way to Rocky Mount. We're going to park at an early voting booth, a location rather, and just preach to people as they come in and urge people to take pictures of the side of the RV and to post them to their friends. We're doing our little part to see that Hillary loses North Carolina. I've got a lot to talk about today with you. I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is going to win this election. He is going to win this election. He is going to be the next president. And please, God, let us be rid of the criminal influence of the Clinton family, the Obama machinery, and the Republican establishment. Please stay with me for this whole day because I've got a lot to say. I'm Randall Terry. This is the rolling voice of resistance. Hi, friends. We are beginning today's program in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where we're at an early voting site. Donald Trump is going to win this election. I'm going to talk first about the media. I want to talk about the polls. People are coming unglued here as they see our coach. Thankfully, go ahead, Gary, turn around and catch an image of these cops. The police came, made sure that everything was okay here, and everything is okay. And so they're here, which is fun. Make sure that none of these people come at our coach. There was a couple of them I thought that they might. So I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is going to win this election. And what he is going to do, which is the kindness of God, judgment begins at the house of God. Remember that. Judgment begins with closest. If you look at the book of Ezekiel, when the people were involved in so much sin and evil and iniquity, it started with those that were closest to God's temple, and then it went out. It started with the elders. And that's why Peter wrote, judgment begins at the house of God. The religious right establishment, the conservative establishment, and then moving out, the Republican establishment, who has said that they are the friends of faith, the friends of family, the friends of life, the friends of justice, the friends of liberty. Many of those are the never Trump people. Many of those are the ones who have cut the deal with the devil repeatedly. They keep funding Planned Parenthood. They don't stand up to Obama. They don't fight against the nomination of Supreme Court judges like Sotomayor. We're talking about people like Lindsey Graham, all right, who say they're Christians, say they love Jesus, and then they are treacherous, deceitful, lying, cowardly sellouts. They are Judases, okay? Judgment begins there. That's where judgment begins. And so if Donald Trump wins this presidency, which I believe he will, those people who have been so treacherous and have turned on Trump, they're going to be out in the political wilderness. They're going to be the ones without influence. Please, God, let it happen. The Republican establishment is more to blame for the demise of this country than the Democratic establishment, because the Democratic establishment are honest enemies. They're true. They do what they say. The Republicans, on the other hand, are wicked, treacherous. I mean, who do you blame the most, Pilate or Judas? Think about it. Who's called the son of perdition? It's the one who ate the bread. And so we've got people who would rather see Hillary as president than Donald Trump. That movement is from hell. I'm telling you, it's from hell. There is a demonic deception at play there. So we're going to see the Republican establishment just demolished, or at least discredited. And we're going to see the media establishment, ABC, CBS, NBC, Washington Post, New York Times, MSNBC. The only one that has a prayer of having its integrity locked in is Fox. And that's just the way it played out because of people like Sean Hannity and others, Bill O'Reilly. Megyn Kelly, she's getting a little off. I'm telling you right now. I've been telling you for months. But the major media establishment who has lied to us with these deceitful polls and their incessant attack on Trump. Can you imagine with me if if Donald Trump had all these WikiLeaks coming out, all these emails talking about questions being given before debates, emails about how Hillary hates the average American, how Hillary wanted $12 million from the King of Morocco, just obvious pay to play, corruption. Can you imagine if it was Donald Trump? And yet this major media is not focusing on it. They're not. They are focusing on yesterday's news, lying polls, fact-checking Trump when Hillary Clinton is clearly corrupt. The major media is going to be sent into oblivion, and they deserve it. I got to take a break. We're here in North Carolina. You're watching Randall Terry on The Voice of Resistance. Please help us with the expenses of this trip. Taking the show on the road is not cheap, I promise you. So God bless you. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
I happen to be a Presbyterian pastor, retired, been pastoring for 25 years in this town in 3 different churches. And I just remember the words of the Bible that say, "Judge not, lest you be judged." That's all I have to say.
What about the words of the Bible that say, whatever you do to the least of his brethren, to Jesus' brethren, you do to him?
And that was a comment within the context of caring for the least of these, yes. For caring for those.
I was hungry, you fed me. I was naked, you clothed me.
Right.
I was in the womb, I was about to be killed.
That's your interpretation of that.
So in other words, Jesus wasn't saying in Matthew 25 that if I'm about to be killed, don't worry about me, just only worry about me if I'm hungry?
It depends on when you believe life begins. It depends on if you believe that families have the right to determine their own future.
Well, Jeremiah chapter 1 says that before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. David said in Psalm 139, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. I was knit in my mother's womb.
That's fair. That is true. That's in the Bible. It's still a person's right to do with their body what they want to do.
Right. Well, the body that's in question, the body that's being killed, the body that's about to be killed is not the woman's body. It's that baby's body.
If life begins when it is born, when it is able to be viable outside the womb, that's when life begins.
I've never seen a newborn baby be viable. If they don't have immediate care and attention, they will starve to death or freeze to death.
I said to be born alive.
My point is that
if a fetus is not able to live outside the womb because it is either disabled or because it has not reached full term, then it is not a viable person.
So that baby at that point doesn't have a soul. That baby's not made in the image of God.
Again, life begins when the baby can live outside the womb.
Where is that in the Bible?
People interpret the Bible differently. You probably know that well. And
I'm a graduate of a Bible college, so I'm startled to hear somebody who says that their retired Presbyterian minister make stuff up.
People have the right to make decisions for their families.
Absolutely, but it does not include the right to decide to kill one of the members of our family.
Right. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you.